Welcome to another episode of the We Grow Together podcast. I feel like I need to say, let there be light, because if you saw our last episode, I could not figure out the connection of my camera to my computer, and apparently my computer is just not working in terms of getting good quality. So I'm excited for this episode of the We Grow Together podcast. I'm your host, Laura DiFrancesco, founder of Dean Street Law, Ethereal Farms, Flourish Co-working and Event Space. I'm here with my co-host Molly, who decided to go to the other side of the couch. She was so cute if you're watching on YouTube in this little area with me, but she relocated. That's okay. LD Brand, our educational platform. We are releasing a book pretty soon, which I'm very excited to share with you. It is currently being approved by Amazon and everything, so very excited for that. And I have a number of other businesses as well, between real estate portfolio, equity investment portfolio, etc. So I wanted to share with you how I am planning my 2025. We already went and did a whole video that we're going to link in the show notes. It's with Shelly Hughes. We talked all about my process of planning the year. Now, I planned this year back in August, so I've already done a lot of the legwork, and I have a lot of different ways that I plan a year. So I wanted to, now that it's the new year, in case maybe August was not the time of year that you plan your next year, like me, maybe you're thinking right now, I'd like to set a little bit more of a vision for this year. I want to see what I can do. I want to show you my easy way of doing it. So my more complex way, we talked with Shelly about it in August. There's a whole process, just to give you an overview of where I sit down with all of my businesses and look at what we've done this past year, where we are, where we want to go, what it takes to get there, and come up with a whole annual strategic plan. I then usually put that into an Excel Google Sheets document, and it creates a Gantt chart with all of my priorities for all the things. In that Gantt chart, I look at the whole year and I put each individual date that has significance in my life. I block it off, so I know in May I'm getting married, and so I don't want to be doing major projects before and after that. I want to be focused on getting ready for my wedding and enjoying my first month as a wifey. So that's kind of what I do. I also put in my major travel dates so that I'm not trying to schedule major projects with companies. At the same time, I'll be out of office. And then I start to overlay it and say, okay, based on maybe a deadline of I would like to publish this book and have it shipping by March 31st, what are my key things that I need to do to get there? And then I put all of that in the Gantt chart, and it's going to show start and stop times for everything to get to those different things. That is the complicated way, in a nutshell, of how I plan the next year. Now, I do that, and I have a lot of different ways that I plan in addition to that. So I do what I feel when I feel, essentially. So that's something that I felt really called to do in the fall. Another thing that I have done from year to year, but it's not every single year, is I create a vision board. Sometimes I feel like my vision board for the last year is still pretty applicable to the vision that I have for this year, and it's consistent, and so I still continue to use that vision board, so I haven't felt the need. But one year on New Year's Eve, my sisters and I did vision boards together. We did them on Canva and all saved them to our phone. We used Pinterest. It was really cute. It was a really fun activity that we all did together. So if you're looking for a girlfriend activity for planning your year, I think that's a really fun one. In the past, we have also hosted events at Flourish all about planning your year with Wild Ambition. If that is something that you want for this coming year, if you want to do Wild Ambition planning sessions, vision boarding, we've done vision boarding with magazines, physically, posters and everything with Wild Ambition. We also have done a whole workshop going through our lifestyle design workbook, going through a couple of the key things. One being a life audit. A life audit is another big way that I have planned out my year, planned out my next 5 years. I feel like in life audits a lot more than just planning out your current year. It's really more just reorienting where you want to go in life. And so for the life audit, I take you through it in the Wild Ambition workshop and the Wild Ambition workbook. We will link those in the show notes. And then I also think I discuss it in the Wild Ambition course, all in different various ways. In the workbook, you see it as 2 pages. In the workshop, you see it as a half hour or so. And then in the course, you have a lot more information surrounding how I do lifestyle design. So a life audit is where you really go through and you decide all of the things that are important to you, and you start mapping it out, and you create visual representations. Sometimes it takes up a whole wall of your ideas of where you want to go in life, and then you start to categorize it, and then you start to make decisions about where you want to spend your time and energy and resources. Obviously, I take you through a whole lot more information about a life audit in those resources and materials. Today, we're going to focus on just something that I did, knowing that I always do all those other things, or I regularly do those other things. This is just something fun that I did and that I do in every planner, and I thought I would share it with you. So if you're into lifestyle design, we have tons of more resources in Wild Ambition, the Lifestyle Design Workshop, the Lifestyle Design Workbook, and the Lifestyle Design course. The workbook's over 50 pages. The workshop is over 3 hours of various activities, and the course is over 100 lessons, both in video lesson and written materials, with over probably close to several hundred pages of workbooks to take you through. So it's really meant to be an immersive thing that you do for a month, a couple months, a year, and revisit as long as you like. You have lifetime access. So Wild Ambition is what it is. I have a lot of opinions on lifestyle design, a lot of tips to share that I really love sharing. Here's one of them: how I organize my planner. And this is something that I do every year. And I'm sure this has some personal information in it, but overall, I don't think that it's too crazy. One thing that I have is I love to start with best moments of the year. And I love to have this as something that I fill in throughout the year of the best moments, my favorite moments of the year. And then Shelly Hughes, one of my best friends who we did the podcast episode with on planning before, she likes to do 1 year defining thing, 6 mini adventures, and 4 winning habits. So she has a 1 year defining thing, and I think this is from somewhere, I don't remember where it's from. She has 1 year defining thing, 4 quarterly habits, and 6 mini adventures. I found that was too much for me. I love that. I love that for her. I'm glad that's for her, but it was too much for me. I don't need mini adventures. I love the concept of it. I love that other people celebrate their mini adventures. I frankly feel like I'm on a mini adventure every single day of my life, so I don't need more mini adventures. So a lot of people do the mini adventures because they want something to look back on, something to be memorable. I feel like my life has so many different memorable things that I really love. So that to me is almost what I built into my favorite memories. I don't need to plan it. I know it's going to happen. So let me just capture my favorite moments. And I'll continue to add to this. I like that it was a little color coordinated. So I really like the year defining thing. To me, that helps you really zone in on your priorities. I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur with multiple businesses. I feel like characterizing myself as a Renaissance woman, jack of all trades, or Jill of all trades is something more akin to me. There's a lot of rhetoric out there that you need to focus on the one thing and only do the one thing. I don't believe that. I think that you can have a garden and grow beautiful things in multiple areas of your life and be very happy with that being what you do. And so the year defining thing for me, though, is I love to pollinate so many different areas of my life. I like to focus on so many different areas of my life. But what is that one thing that I need to keep returning my attention to? If you are someone who's multi-passionate as well, I'm sure you know the feeling of when you have an exciting new project to do, but you don't want to let go of what's so important to you. And this year, it's getting married to my best friend, my favorite human, James. He is my counterpart. He is my partner. He is my world. Love him literally to bits and pieces. That's the year-defining thing, especially as someone who has never grown up looking forward to getting married and being like, I want to get married when I grow up. That was never me. I didn't hope and wish for a wedding. I frankly just wanted a relationship that was healthy and happy and felt like I had a partner. And I obviously have very high standards and expectations in relationships, but lovingly parents having grown up with a family that had a lot of turbulence, had divorce, had all the things. It was not something that I was wishing for, to get married and to have a wedding and all these things. And so now that I am getting married and having a wedding, it can be challenging for me, who is driven by a lot of other things, to say, okay, let me plan my wedding. I love working on my wedding gown. I'm making my wedding gown. So to me, that's easy to work on. But the whole part of planning a wedding is a whole lot of hoopla and not especially inspiring to me, because it is so much work, in my opinion, for most other people. If it were up to me, I would just be celebrating a marriage with my favorite human and eloping and just enjoying our time together and enjoying the celebration between ourselves of our commitment to each other. But that's okay. So that is my year defining thing. So it just helps me to refocus, give myself a reminder, this is really important to me. And even though not every part of it may be easy, and even though not every part of it, aka planning a wedding, may be what I want to do, it's going to get me to what I want, which is marrying my favorite human. And that's really important to me. So that's why it's at the top. When I was starting my business, I needed a place to create, a place that filled me from the inside out, somewhere that inspired me, helped me make content, a place where I could go to get good work done and host events, gather in community, celebrate one another, host family and friends for gatherings. So I created Flourish Co-working Space in Westchester, Pennsylvania. It's a space that nourishes you from the inside out. It's lush, inspiring environment with hundreds of plants to make you feel like your best self so that you can do your best work, and gather in community in a way that's casual, inviting, and just incredible. I hope you check it out. If you need a co-working or event space in Westchester, PA, be sure to visit us and book your co-working or event today. And then I have all of this organized. Now, if you don't have 5 businesses, don't worry. I'm sure that you have 5 or so parts of your life that are important to you and things that you want to think of. So these are my businesses and personal goals. We have personal, Dean Street Law, LD Brand, Ethereal Farms, Flourish, Equestrian goals. These are the things that are important to me. I like to have plenty of room to add things throughout the year, because I find that the ideas that I have now will evolve. I hope that your ideas evolve over time too. I think it's great to have incredible ambitions. I'm not gonna lie, I have things on here that I don't know are possible. There are a lot of things on here that I don't know if they're possible. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with embracing the uncertainty of hope and wishes and dreams and pursuits and hard work. I'm good with that. To me, that makes me happy. I enjoy the pursuit of the unattainable, the pursuit of the challenge. To me, that's just fun. If you want this to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, all the things, the SMART goals, do you. I like unrealistic goals. Now, I don't necessarily change my whole world around my unrealistic goals. That's important. I do not spend in my businesses like I am making the revenue I hope to achieve. That's not the way to succeed. But I do plan and act as if that's my goal. It is my goal. And I plan it to be achievable, but it just may not be achieved in this next year. So I don't shy away from having goals and ideas that are, in most people's opinion, unachievable, in most people's opinion, way too much of an ambition. But wild ambition is my signature thing. Dream and live with wild ambition. I do not hold back. I do not need to be the person who limits my own ambition, who limits my own ideas, who limits the possibilities of what I can achieve. That is not my role in life. There are plenty of other people, plenty of other aspects of the world that will challenge me and challenge my tenacity and belief in my dreams and the ability for me to work to get them to come true. I don't need to be that naysayer too. That is not my belief. I hope that's the same for you. I know it can be challenging if you're not wired that way. I will say I feel like I am somewhat wired that way, but I feel like it's indiscernible between whether I was born that way and I was just nature versus nurture. I don't necessarily think it was that I was raised that way, but I raised myself that way. I grew up, I'm a farm girl. I learned how much was possible through hard work. I learned how to believe in myself by doing hard things early. And I could not care less whether something is hard. Everything in life is hard. Every life will be hard at some point. It doesn't have to be hard every day. You don't have to choose for it to be hard. You don't have to make it hard. But let's face it, life's not going to be easy. So you get to choose where in life will be hard for you, what you want to choose to be hard. You can be hard by not having the desires that you want on your heart coming to life and being frustrated with how you're spending your time and your days, or things could be hard by struggling doing the things that you love. I choose every day, all day, to struggle doing the things that I love, because it's not easy, than to have the mental struggle of not being the person I want to be or not doing the things that I want to do. So everybody can choose their struggle. You can choose yours. I encourage you to choose the ones that will ultimately make you happy, that will take you where you're going to want to go. I point my compass, I go there, come hell or high water. I don't care whether I get there today, whether I get there tomorrow, whether I get there next month. It means nada to me. All I care about is that I work to get there and that I enjoy the pursuit of getting there by doing things like podcasting with my BFF Molly, who you can't see right now, but who is so cute on the couch. So these are not realistic. They're also not realistic because I'm injured right now. I was in a car accident in September. I cannot work out. I cannot ride horses. I cannot be in events with multiple people. But you know what? I don't let that define me, and I don't let that define my goals. I still want to have on my goals to go to the same number of networking events that I go to every single year, because I am working every day to get better, and my hope is that by the time that they get there, that I'll be able to get to them. And sometimes that means for networking events that sell out, like for instance, the Harvard events, UPenn events, all of the events that I've always gone to, if they sell out, they sell out within a day or two of the tickets being released. So I'm going to get a ticket whether or not I can go to it or whether or not I can go to it right now, because I don't accept that I'm not going to be better by the time that this event comes around. But guess what? I may not be better by the time the event comes around. You have to decide how much you're willing to invest in things that you hope come true. For those things, I'm going to continue to monitor it. At this point, I know I have a very hard challenge to get to anything in the spring. So my goal is to get to 6 of these big networking events that I, one, need to go to for my business because they are what makes my business survive, but 2, really find important in the trajectory of where I need my business to grow and where I need to spend my time and energy. So it's challenging when you know that you have limitations and that you are human and that things will happen, and perhaps you're not going to grow as quick as you can. But I would rather be the person who fights hell or high water every day to get better by March, to be able to go to this conference, to be able to ride my horses again, to be able to do the things that I want, than be the person that says, you know what, I'm injured right now, so I'm not going to make it a goal of mine to compete with my horses. I'm not going to make it a goal of mine to ride. I'm not going to make it a goal of mine to go to these events that I find are very important to my business development, the success of my business, and overall my professional success. That's just not me. That's not the person I will ever be, and that's not the person that I would find enjoyable to be. I respect everybody and how they want to be, but to me that would completely deflate me to say that I have this limitation, and so all of my dreams are dashed and it's just not going to happen this year. I'm not the kind of person that says that's just not going to happen this year because of this set limitation. I'm going to work hell or high water so that the things that I want to come true this year, whether or not they come true this year. doesn't matter. I'll have still then put in the work for them to come true this year. And it will be that much easier if my recovery takes another year, then it will be that much easier to be closer to the person that I want to be than having spent this year saying, I'm going to give up on riding this year. I'm going to give up on going to events this year. I'm not even going to try. It's not even going to be in my realm of possibility for this to happen. And guess what? If you decide that, then you're going to pull back yourself. And sometimes that's what you need. So I'm not saying don't do it, but know the consequences. Make an informed decision. You're going to pull back and say, I choose to not be well. I choose to not pursue getting better, or I'm not going to put as much effort into getting better, or whatever this is for you. Although I know that a lot of people go through, whether it be health challenges or family health challenges or anything like that. So, I am going to have it on my list that I want to ride my horses and I want to compete. Now, I'm not going to, for competing for horses, sign up for things when I haven't been able to sit in a saddle for so long, but that is my goal. And I say this to you as I have a tremendous amount of vertigo, because even just speaking right now creates vertigo and issues with my concussion. It's a challenge to be in a place where you've had setbacks and where you are not where you want to be. It's a challenge to create goals when you know that there are things in your way. But I encourage you, if there are things in your way, if there have been setbacks, don't let that define your goals. It is one thing, one more thing in a set of millions of things in the pursuit of your goals and dreams that you will need to overcome. And then if this is really important to you, how to allocate your time into recovery or the thing that is standing in your way. Whatever that is, you can focus your time on that as if you're focusing your time on the actual goal. Because remember, some things are just a product of other things. I want to ride horses. The impediment to me riding horses is that I've been injured. And so as hard as I would be working to ride horses, I'm going to now dedicate that to being well and getting better. And then you'll find that you're able to do the things that you haven't been able to do or didn't think that you could do in an incredible way, so much more quickly. That's how you compound time. That is how you compound dreams and make massive leaps and jumps. A lot of people have told me that I skip levels in life, or I achieve things so quickly. That is how I achieve things so quickly. I want to be a billionaire. And so, yes, I don't have $1 billion in my pocket, and I don't have $1 billion coming into revenue this year. But if that's my goal, and this is what's standing in my way, I can put as much time and dedication to that to get to there as I would as if I was pursuing just that. And then you skip time. And then your dreams and your time and what you're doing compounds, and you get there faster. Instead of saying, I don't think it's possible for me to be a billionaire, and so I'm not even going to waste my time, and this is where I'm going to pursue. But guess what? When you dream for the stars, or you shoot for the moon, you land among the stars. Whatever that saying is, that's the key. If you shoot for way higher, what you truly want, you will find that even if you miss where you would be happy and what you would be grateful for, you will get so much farther than you ever thought possible. So I have everything listed in different categories by my personal, my business, my equestrian dreams. All of those things are listed, and I just came up with what I had while I was working on it for those couple minutes. I didn't even reference all the work that I did with Shelly, and that's kind of the thing that I do often is I make goals and I set plans, but I don't reference it every day. I don't necessarily feel like I have to. I feel like that's a tool in my toolbox to use, but not the end all be all.
One of my favorite places on earth is Ethereal Farms in the rolling hills and draping forests of Chester County wine country. It's right next door to our sister farm, Wayvine Winery and Vineyard, so guests of our luxury accommodations can enjoy wine visits, enjoy live music and food trucks at the winery. Our luxury accommodations and tranquil landscapes provide the perfect escape from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. There's also access to over 1,000 acres of hiking. Enjoy serene walks among meadows, cozy nights by the fire making s'mores, and unforgettable moments with our friendly farm animals. Everything from horses to goats, mini donkeys, which are the absolute cutest, ducks, chickens, turkeys, we've got it all. So if you're looking for a getaway with your friends, family, significant other, be sure to check out Ethereal Farms. Follow us on social media at Ethereal Farms to get all the cute farm content, and be sure to book your stay so you can enjoy a little bit of the magic here in Chester County.
Alrighty. The next thing that I do is this is just something that my calendar has, is my wish list. My wish list has things that are not possible for me right now. It has the fact that I want to compete in Miss Pennsylvania USA, but I have no idea how I can compete in Miss Pennsylvania USA on a stage with lights in front of hundreds of people when I cannot be in a room with a bunch of people. I have no idea how that's going to happen. It currently is not possible with my concussion and my vertigo. I don't know how I would possibly walk on stage in heels when I don't have the same balance that I've always had, and that I have vertigo and things feel like they're upside down. But you know what? I don't care. It's on my wish list. It may not actually happen, but it's on my wish list, and maybe it'll happen in the following year. I also want to ride horses every day. It's currently physically not possible, but it is on my goals for it to be a reality for me. I also want to go to Italy. It has actually been in my plan for the last 2.5 years to go to Italy for my honeymoon. But I have not been able to travel because of my vertigo and my concussion, and not being able to be around people and not being able to do all of these things. So let's just say I'm not booking my flight yet. So yeah, I mean, there's tons of things that I want to do here. I don't even know if they're possible. It's not in my DNA to just not pursue something just because it's not currently possible. It is in my DNA to actually do something towards it every day that I can, because it's important to me. Now, I am so particular about a journal, about an agenda. I will share some things that I have in my journal that I really love. I'm actually coming up with a journal because a journal agenda, like a daily agenda, because I find it so hard to find good agendas. This is by Sugar Paper. It has some of the things that I want in it. It's the only one that I found with some of the things that I want in it. It has monthly personal health, work, financial goals, etc. Important dates. This is all stuff that I would do no matter my journal, so I love that it has it. And then on the days of the month, some people put what they are going to do, and I do if it's a real fixed thing, but my schedule is very fluid. It changes a lot. So what I tend to do is write down things that I enjoyed and did that day. And it's almost like my little gratitude journal for my monthly journal. And then daily and weekly. So on every week, I have a to-do list, a to-call list, a to-email, to buy. And then I have this week's goals. And I use that as a habit tracker and create a chart. And I write my top goals like in hearts that make me happy for my this week's goal, like giving James the love every day that I want to. My current goals are washing dishes daily. I am not that good at that, and some other things. And then at the top of the page, I also rewrite my top goals for the year that I am focused on right now, because some of them I'm not focused on. I'm not focused on Italy right now. I'm not focused on my Miss Pennsylvania USA, all that kind of stuff. I'm not focused on that right now because I'm focused on getting well. So my focus and priorities are vitamins, doing all of my therapy movements every day, walking the farm. I took a vitamin test recently to see what deficiencies I had, because if you're trying to get better, having the right vitamins really helps you. And then each day, so that's like my weekly, and then I come up with my to-do lists for different things, and then I have a weekly favorite moments that goes here as well. And everything that I really love or is really big or important to me in my weekly calendar, I do it in all caps, and then I highlight it with a marker. I just do it by highlighting it with like marker by retracing everything. I can't show you everything because this does have confidential information from clients and everything, so I'm not going to show you that. I can't show you this, but here is essentially an example, if you're watching on YouTube, what it is. And you can see my little tracker that I create for the week. So, and you can see my little favorite moments. So that's important to me. I'm constantly looking ahead. So this is something that I really love to do on a weekly basis. This is something that I love to do while I'm watching TV. I'm not the kind of person that just sits back and watches TV 100% of the time. James loves TV way more than I do, so I more just enjoy TV to enjoy time with him. So while I'm doing TV, I just do my little journal / agenda thing, and that's my little process that I love. So I figured I'd give you a little bit of insight into my daily, weekly planner rituals, so that if you are enjoying the new year and want to do something and you haven't yet, you can find something super simple to do, because it is something that I find helps me on a daily basis. A lot of people tell me that they have goals and dreams that they want to do and they don't know how to get there. And if you don't do any of the other things that I've talked about, totally fine. I think that this is really approachable. It's just a different way to use your agenda to be able to have meaningful change and be able to get some meaningful things done. You will be absolutely shocked how much you get done when you just break it down and make it a little bit easier, a little bit more accessible, and have it really easy to do on a daily basis. So I hope this episode has been helpful. If you'd like, please join us for more episodes on the We Grow Together podcast. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Let me know in my Instagram what your favorite part of this is, if there's anything that you'll be using in your 2025 planning. And of course, feel free to also share your tips. I'd love to hear, what do you do to plan your year? What do you do for your agenda? What do you find helpful? Are there any agendas that you absolutely love? Anybody else geek out? And if you really want me to publish my own agenda, it's been in the works, let me know. I would be happy to share it. It is all lifestyle design focused and something that I really love and am passionate about. See you guys in the next episode.